Hey, what's happening? It's Chris, Red Beer Videos, and I'm here with you with another. We're gonna do a live react, not a live react. I'm not live. This is very much recorded. We're gonna do a react. It's a first reaction, and this one was really difficult, just like the first one was when I did this for Coheed and Cambria. Except this time, I'm super excited for this record. And it's mostly because they're really good friends of mine and they're one of my favorite bands. So I was excited on two fronts. Like, I was very excited to hear new music from Maria and Tarek, who make up Raze the Maze. The two of them are from a band formerly known as Motar, and now they are Raze the Maze, and they put out an album a few years back now. I think it's like 3 years ago now, and this is their first release since then, and I'm super excited about it. They're a very progressive rock band, but they also have like a pop element to them in the vein of, like, I would say late 70s, early 80s era prog rock, but like on the lighter side. They don't get very heavy at times. When they do, they can kick ass when they want to, but it doesn't happen often, or it hasn't anyway, especially in this current version called Raze the Maze. So, Tarek Raghib is one of the most phenomenal bassists I've ever heard. Great songwriter, great lyric writer, and he's a phenomenal physical artist as well in terms of painting. He makes these amazing paintings, so be sure to check that out. I'll be sure to leave that link down here right now. Follow my instructions because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But when I edit this video, I want the link right there. No, I'm going to get it right there. So that's where you can find Tarek's art. So we're going to dive into this album. I'm going to listen. Whenever I stop to talk, I'm not going to give this album away for free. So we're not going to do a full listen right here, but I'm going to talk about it, and we're going to get into it right now. The album is called 7 a.m. Dream, which I don't know very many people who dream at 7 a.m., so this could be a nightmare, like lyrically, so we'll see if I can pick up some lyrics as we go. But I get lost in a trance a lot when I hear Maria sing. She's got one of the most amazing voices out there, like in life, like in the world. So here's Raze the Maze. I'm not going to talk anymore.
Hearts break upon the ground, it shakes.
All right.
Deep state. Deep state.
Why?
Deep state. Deep state.
Okay, so after much technical difficulties, because me, right? I think I figured this out. And to put myself in a better mood, because I have to be honest, it's just been frustrating. We're going to do some mood lighting. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Gets better. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're going to go with some party lighting. Okay, here we go. The first song is called First We Cry, which doesn't sound very party-like and very chill, but that's what we're going to go with. So here we go.
Deep states, deep fakes, deep heart.
First off, I want to point out the artwork right off the bat. The artwork right there, that's Tarek's work. That's Tarek Raghib, the bassist, main songwriter, the whole bit. That's his artwork. That's his definitive style, and he's just phenomenal. So again, I'm going to put up that link a little bit later, but that's something worth noting. So first verse, first chorus, if I say something is typical of Maria and Tarek, that's a good thing, because this is wonderfully melodic. Maria's voice is killing it. The music is very upbeat and happy, and it's just a pleasure to listen to. I've always fall into love with this band and their sound. These particular artists, Motar and Raze the Maze, I really always love what they do. I'm just waiting for the gymnastics that come, because it will come.
Of course, ourselves.
Wow. Dare I say, a pretty straightforward tune. Not a whole lot to that in terms of crazy proggy rock stuff, but a very cool melody, a very beautiful chorus. Maria sounds wonderful. First time I've heard her in a while, in a few years now. It sounds very light on guitar, which is cool. I don't recall there being a ton of guitar on the first Raze the Maze release either. I often get them confused with Motar because they do kind of sound similar, but Motar was almost like all guitar a lot of the time. I mean, they had keyboards too. They had two keyboardists at one point, I believe, too. But they had a lot of guitar. This does not sound like there's any in this particular song. Anyway, there's bass guitar, but there's not any regular guitar. So, first great song right out of the box. I got that melody hooked in my head already. So, yeah. That's good stuff. The second song is the title track, 7 a.m. Dream.
10 grievances, mine's marble.
If only
And survey
start
says
the
acts of marvel. Gamma assault and cannons fireball. Bombshells signature. Done up in glam and super mad. Disclosures and false.
All right, so right off the bat here, I have to say you're hearing some vocal gymnastics from Miss Maria Dickinson. It is fantastic. She has such a tremendous voice, and we're hearing some of that here. Let's see if I can go back, if this thing allows me, because it's being quite difficult tonight. And there it goes. Fantastic. Well, that is everything that I love from Tarek and Morea, from either Motar or Raze the Maze. That was kind of, so when Morea and Tarek kind of, when Motar ended and they went on to their new thing, they did Raze the Maze. And Raze the Maze, I think they were trying to sound different for whatever reason, just because they wanted to differentiate themselves, and also because I think there were more writers, there were more hands in the cookie jar when it came to Motar. And now that I think that I don't want to speak too fluently on who writes everything, but I don't think I'm telling stories when I say that I believe that Tarek writes almost all the music. And this was the first time since the disbanding of Motar that I've heard a full Motar type of song, but it's a combination. It's not distinctly Motar. It's got a lot of the Motar elements that I loved, but it's also kept that Raze the Maze sound from the first album. I think this is the best Raze the Maze song I've heard, other than maybe A Riot is a Storm from the first album. 7 a.m. Dream is a phenomenal song. That was just fan-fucking-tastic, period. All right, next song is the first release. They did release a single from this album. It was called Letters from the Parking Lot, which I've already heard. I'm not going to go through it too much, but I loved it. I thought it was a phenomenal song. Great starter tune. I will just give you my thoughts on that now and say, great song. It was awesome. I was so excited to finally get to hear new Raze the Maze and new music from them. And the video was great. There's a video on YouTube. I will link it. You can check out the video. And it's a great song. So I'm going to move on to song number 4, which is Under the Spell.
Through the eyes of specters haunted by the haunted, what you wanted.
Funky.
Into the ether, once again, merciful and of all suffering, and sing out, candidly bow down, fall into the sound that's calling you stone. You're the ground that's shaking.
So I have to say, I'm going to stop in the middle of this song because this is a whole new sound that I'm hearing from these two. There's a funk element to this. There's a really slow groove happening here. And it seems to me like, I don't know if they're purposely trying to go more straightforward. I mean, 7 a.m. Dream definitely had a lot of the prog elements. The first song, First We Cry, it was a little more straightforward. I mean, it still had that syncopated Motar, Raze the Maze thing that I'm used to from these two. This song though just has kind of like a straight funk pop feel to it. And of course, whenever you hear Maria singing, it's gonna sound like them. But this is fantastic. I love the ground that they're covering here. This is pretty cool. Wow, that's a good song. And I need to ask them, I'm going to have Maria and Tarek, probably both of them, at least one of them on the channel very soon to talk about this album in depth. Because I really want to know who the other instruments are, you know, like who's playing drums, who's playing keys. I'm wondering if it's the Motar people or if they got new people. I know for the first album they got assistance from some of the Motar guys and others. So I'm curious to see who's playing drums because that was monstrous. Like whoever's playing drums on that track was just fantastic. And all of what I'm hearing so far is pretty damn good. So that was a good tune. I like the different sound. I like where we're going here. And it's cool because look, Raze the Maze is a very niche type of band. They're not for everybody. They're going to turn a lot of people off just because they're a lot of music, if that makes sense. There are a lot of, like, there's just a lot to take in. And usually if you're not progressive-minded or jazz-minded or jazz fusion-minded, you're going to get lost in this music. This album, though, so far, other than 7 a.m. Dream, which might lose some of your regular folk, your regular radio people, that song, Under the Spell, could definitely, I think, could grab a few regular people. It's got some crossover appeal to it for sure. All I know for sure is out of the first 4 songs, I haven't found a bad moment yet. So with that being said, let's move on to the next song. Let's just keep this rolling along. Pax Arcana is the 5th song. Now let me say, I need to say that we have finally seen or heard that prog craziness I was telling you about. 7 a.m. Dream, the title track, definitely presented some of it, but in more of a straightforward way. This is again, I don't want to say typical. I'm at a loss for words here. It's the signature. That's the word I'm looking for. It's signature Maria and Tarek. It's signature Raze the Maze. It's signature Motar. This is what I expect to hear at least once or twice on any one of the records that Tarek writes, because he's awesome at it and it's great. And I personally love it. And it may turn off some people who aren't prog minded, but you know what? This isn't for you then. But I love it so far. This is great right now. Pendulum, don't you wanna Pax Arcana? So I do declare, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was some Matt Hewlett from Motar, or I mean, I don't know what, I forget the name of the band that he's in now. But it sounds like something like that sounds like his style. I might be wrong here, but I believe that sounded like Matt Hewlett playing guitar on that particular song, and that was great. I mean, that's just, again, I hate to use the word typical, but that was definitely signature Maria and Tarek for sure. All right, this next one is Hero Villain. This sounds political, possibly. Okay, so Maria again showing off the voice. My God. My God. I don't even believe in God, and she's got me saying, oh my God. That voice. Whew. All right. I mean, there's nothing else to say. That song right there was Maria doing Maria. I mean, that's what that was. And I can't be more pleased in this life. The more Maria I get doing Maria, then the happier I am. That is just a wonderful example of what she's capable of. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Now, I will say one thing. The only thing I'm going to say here so far, if there's a negative to be found on this record so far, on this album, on this release, is that I hope that one of these last 1, 2, 3, 4 songs, at least one of them, has more of an upbeat flavor. Like more just faster. I don't need metal. I don't even need hard rock. Just a faster pace. I feel like a lot of these songs have the same pace, and that's not inherently bad. It's just something I would personally like from a pacing standpoint. Not a major criticism, more of a nitpick at best, because I'm enjoying the shit out of this record so far. So I don't want to say it's a complaint. I'm just saying how if I were doing something differently, that's where I would go next at some point. And some of these song titles I can see coming up. Breaking Broken, I don't see that being an upbeat song. I see that being probably even slower than all the other ones. Persistence, possibly. By Design, maybe. Normal Nonsense, definitely. But again, if I know these two, they're going to close with something epic. So, because I don't know, that's what they always do. It's just my history with them. Next one is Breaking Broken. Oh, maybe.
Stuck inside the miracle machine, human being, and you're breaking broken.
Love it. Absolutely love that. That was okay. So that wasn't the change of pace I was talking about. It did sound a little more upbeat. It never kicked in. I was at first I was kind of hoping it would kick into like some sort of like a driving beat for a second, but then when it kicked in with what it actually kicked in with, like I was so much happier than what I was kind of initially hoping for. So shut up, Chris. Just listen to the music. What the fuck do I know? Yeah. So Breaking Broken goes right up there with 7 a.m. Dream as far as I'm concerned. I really, really would put that with the upper echelon Raze the Maze / Motar songs. Fucking great. Just a great song. Well constructed. Very creative. Maria is just on top of it. Her voice is immaculate. Look, I've said it in the past, either on my radio show in the past. I've said it. I think I've definitely done a segment on Raze the Maze here on this channel where I've said I could let Maria Dickinson sing to me every day, like either via streaming, live in concert, on video. It stirs something inside of me, and I love it so much. It's so great. All right, next song is Persistence. Right off the bat, typical Motar Raze the Maze song. This is going to be crazy. I can feel it. Are those horns? Do they have horns? Like, what is happening? Okay, I say signature, typical from the past, but I have to give credit where it's due. I mean, I've been lapping the cock of this album. Let's be real. I got to give credit where it's due. They're doing so many, like Tarek and Maria, they're not famous. They don't have a ton of like listeners and followers. They have their following, which is decent, but like it's not like they're not getting Ariana Grande numbers or like anything like that. But they're trying to do different things, and I love it. I love every second of it. And that's not a slight on them. I love the fact that they stick to their art and they do what they want to do, and it's amazing. The music is so damn good. My God. I love the sounds they have going on here. There's a bunch of different sounds happening, and I don't necessarily know what they are. I'm assuming they're keyboard sounds of some sort, but that was really cool. Again, it's in the vein of like when I say signature sound, I think you understand what I mean, but just so I can expand on it a little further, if you were to put that song on, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's either Motar or Raze the Maze. Like, I would know, and I would probably guess Raze the Maze because Motar seems to be, Motar seems to be more guitar heavy, whereas Raze the Maze seems to be more keyboard heavy in sound. They seem to be going more for like a synth wave or something like a synth pop type of thing, whereas synth prog, if you will, whereas Motar was just your as straightforward as you can be, but like more guitar driven prog rock. They had keyboards too, and it was a strong element, don't get me wrong. I can't reiterate any more about how present the guitar was in Motar versus Raze the Maze stuff. But that song was definitely, again, in the line of Pax Arcana in terms of things I would expect to hear from these particular artists. So, all right, second to last song, By Design. Well, that was ominous. Fantastic. I love what Maria is doing a lot with more on this album than I've heard in the past. She definitely dove more into this on the first Raze the Maze album than any of the other Motar albums, or at least it just seems that way to me. But a lot of the layering of the vocals, duplicating herself or doing different types of things. I know she had done it in the past. It seems that she does it more and more and more. I think it might be because she's been with a cappella groups and whatnot over the past several years, and maybe she's really enjoying doing that, but it's really adding an element to this music that's really fantastic. And that one, like the rest of this record, has been kind of la-di-da upbeat type stuff, not la-di-da as in boring, la-di-da as in like la la la, we're upbeat. Everything had kind of an upbeat sound to it. I now haven't read the lyrics, so I don't know what they're saying. Tarek has always had a flair for the, I don't know what you would say, downtrodden. I don't know if you'd say downtrodden. The pessimistic, maybe. There is an element of optimism too, but yeah, he has a similar worldview than I do. So his worldview is one of we're f***ed a lot of times, and at least that's the impression I get. I haven't read every single lyric, I'll be honest. So maybe when I get a chance to talk to him, I will get more in-depth about his lyricism and specifically on this record. But that song musically was the first one that made me go, ooh, this sounds dark. There's a certain darkness to that song. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that a lot. I've enjoyed every song on this record. So even if the last one isn't great, you got 9 out of 10 songs that have been pretty fantastic. So we're staring down the barrel of almost a perfect listen on my first go, which is very, very rare. So I'm interested to hear what Normal Nonsense is going to sound like, because it sounds like my daily life. So it's a short tune at 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which is not my Normal Nonsense. So here we go. Okay, well, I jinxed myself. That wasn't a bad song by any stretch, but it was most certainly my least favorite of the set of 10. I will say, though, that I got my upbeat song, it's not a bad song, it just was the weakest of the group, in my opinion. And with that being said, though, I have a personal rule, where I listen to an album 3 full times before giving a final, stamp of approval, disapproval, or otherwise on it for myself. So, take this with a grain of salt. I will say that I really enjoyed 7 AM Dream by Raze the Maze completely, from cover to 9 and most of 10. It's really an inspired record from 2 artists that, like I said, I know them personally, and I have fairly regular conversations with them. I don't want to overstate my place in their life. We live on opposite ends of the country, so I don't see them nearly as I don't see them nearly as often as I used to, or as I'd like to, but we try to keep tabs on each other as much as we can, and this is a welcome sight to my ears, if that's a thing, and I'm so excited to see what this album does for them. like I said, we're gonna have them at least one of them, if not both of them. I'd ideally like to have both of them on here at the same time to talk about this album, Tarek's art, what they have going on, just life in general, because they're great people. Maria Dickinson, Tarek Raghib, who are the main thrust of who are Raze the Maze. I mean, they are the faces on the cover. You know, I'm sure there are other musicians that help them, but they're not like the band. It's Maria, it's Tarek, it's what they are. So let me know what you think in the comments of what you heard here. Be sure, I'm gonna put the Bandcamp link in the description here, and also let me know in the comments from what you've heard, what you like. If you know Raze the Maze or Motar, or maybe you know Maria from Hive, which was one of her a cappella projects, or if you know Tarek from his artwork, or all of the above, just leave it in the comments, because they deserve your praise or your feedback. If there's something about them that you don't like, or something that you would like to hear them do differently, I mean, I don't know if they'll take that into consideration, but it can't hurt, right? Just don't be mean. That's all. That's all I would say. It's just don't be mean. So let me know that. Also, if there's an album that you think I might not have heard before, or you have a local artist or something that's about to break or is making noise in your local town, and you want to point me to their site or to their Bandcamp or whatever, and say, hey, check out this album, do a live react to this single or this song or this video or whatever, send it down in the comments and let me know. Also, hit up my social media sites, at VideosBeard on Twitter, Redbeard Videos on Facebook, at Redbeard Videos on TikTok. Those are the 3 places to reach me, plus the comments here. Like and subscribe as always, please. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here, as I so much enjoy spending time with you here. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.